Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Tennessee Titans and going over what to expect from Ryan Tannehill in 2021. But before we get into that topic, question for those of you, and comment down below, where do you rank Mike Vrabel amongst head coaches in the league? You don't have to give me an exact ranking of 8 or 9 or 12. Just tell me a decent range. You think he's top 10, top 12, top 15. Give me an estimate and I'll give my answer at the end. Getting straight into it though, just for reference, Ryan Tannehill last year put up right around 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. He's pretty efficient as far as stats go. You know, he's not going to probably throw 50 touchdowns or 5,000 yards, but he is going to put up numbers that wins football games. And at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? And I think it does. Of course, there's always obviously going to be speculation if you don't throw the football the prettiest or if you don't put up MVP numbers. But to me, a win at the end of the day is what matters. But this year, he might have both the wins and the numbers. Getting Julio Jones, getting a healthier O-line, adding a tackle in the second round, adding Josh Reynolds, just these little things. Why wouldn't he have a better year? Just better protection, better weapons. My biggest concern is obviously the loss of Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator that went on to be head coach. I know every coordinator that leaves isn't this next best successful thing, of course. I mean, the Lions former head coach Matt Patricia, he turned out to be nothing. Phenomenal coordinator for the Patriots. Zach Taylor, great coordinator for the Rams. Now he's struggling with the Bengals, and I get those are kind of, Bengals and Lions are bad examples for sure. Those not many people succeed on those type of teams, but there are also other teams where Kyle Shanahan left the Falcons, went to the 49ers, then all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl. And the Falcons have never been the same since. So Arthur Smith leaving the Titans, it's kind of a toss-up. Where does he stand when it comes to how the Titans are without him? And it is a big question mark to answer, but you could make also the argument that the healthier O-line, the newly added O-line, the newly added Julio Jones, a top 5 receiver in the league, is going to make up for that and then some. So it goes both ways. But I think between, like I said, the healthy O-line, the addition of Dylan Radins, I don't know how to pronounce it, a tackle in the second round. I just think that with Taylor Lewin coming back, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Anthony Firkser, Derrick Henry, of course, Ryan Tannehill is going to have an improved season, and the Titans are going to have a great season as far as wins go. Defense, I do have my concerns. I get that doesn't impact Tannehill to the nth degree. The defense isn't catching footballs from Tannehill, but it does help control the pace of the game and help manage the game for Tannehill and just control the clock, determine the tempo they got to run on offense. Are they down 7 constantly and Tannehill's just got to chuck it up and hope for the best? Or are they always up where he could take his foot off the gas and it might hurt his numbers, but then you could run out the clock with Derrick Henry and you're winning at the end of the day? The defense, I think they would rather, the defense be phenomenal and Tannehill have awful numbers as far as big numbers. He's still going to be efficient. That's just who he is. He had like a 4.5 touchdown to interception ratio last year. But, if the defense is above average and it can help control the pace of games, they don't need Tannehill to really carry him. They could just run the offense through Derrick Henry like usual. I do think the defense will be improved. Big Jeff's got Bud Dupree to help him out. In the secondary, Kevin Byard's got Janoris Jenkins and Caleb Farley to help him out. They're bringing in Jim Schwartz again. The defense is going to be better than last year. Is it going to be a top 10 defense? Most certainly not, in my opinion. But will it be better than last year? I do believe so. So, really, the only thing hurting the Titans today would be the loss of Arthur Smith and just how tight the AFC is, in my opinion. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Browns, those are 4 powerhouses. Not to say the Titans aren't with them, but they are 4 problems. And then you got some dark horse teams. Miami, LA Chargers, Indianapolis Colts in your own division. The AFC is tight this year. But Ryan Tannehill, like I said, he's got the weapons. He's got a top 5 receiver. A.J. Brown's probably a top 10, top 8 receiver, depending on where you rank him. Personally, 3,800 yards last year, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think he will top those numbers this year. We could see the ball being taken out of Derrick Henry's hands just ever so slightly because we got Julio Jones now, who has the best hands in the league, arguably. I think Tannehill's going to definitely push 4,000 yards, healthier line, better weapons, 17th game. That's more than last year. I think he'll definitely go over 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns last year, improved offense, more games. I could see him throw for 36, 37 touchdowns. I'd say my safe range would be 36 to 39 with the very high ceiling of 40. I wouldn't bet my money on it, but I would not be super surprised if he pulled it off. And then interceptions, Say he throws 36 to 39 touchdowns. Let's say his 7 interceptions become 8 or 9. Sounds about right to me. Tannehill's never going to be the gunslinger of putting up 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. But if he can win football games, if he can have a 4.5, or 4 to 5 touchdown to interception ratio, I think the Titans are going to be happy with that since they have Julio Jones to make up for plays yards after catch, A.J. Brown to make up plays yards after catch, Derek Carr to do his thing where he just runs through any defense ever. This Titans team is going to go far this year. Those are my stat predictions. Again, probably 4,000 yards, 36 to 39 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns being, Tannehill's. I'm not saying he would win MVP by any means. I don't think he would win MVP, but if he were to do it, 40 touchdowns is what I think he would need to reach. 8 or 9 interceptions, and then I do think they will make a solid playoff run. I would be shocked if this team didn't make the playoffs. I know some people predicted not to. Colin Cowherd, pretty famous sports broadcaster, he actually predicted the Titans to go, I think it was either 8 and 9 or 9 or 8, one of the others, and he predicted the Colts to win the division. That's pretty insane to me. I do think the Colts are a sneaky team, but for the Titans to be finished right around 500, based off of how good of an offseason they have, I don't see that happening, but who knows? We'll just have to see. I like the Titans this year, not necessarily to win the Super Bowl, but to be a contender. You can't tell me they're not, as far as on paper rosters go, on par with the Chiefs, the Bills, the Browns, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Colts, and Miami. They all have their pros and cons, all have their strong suits, all have their weak spots, but the Titans, you arguably have the number one offensive roster on paper this year, and that's going to get you somewhere. I don't know if it'll get you to the Super Bowl, but I do think it'll get you in a spot to contend for the Super Bowl. But you guys tell me, do you think I'm spot on with the Ryan Tannehill prediction? Again, 36 39 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, 8 to 9 interceptions is where I got Tannehill finishing this year. Best season yet for him. I don't think it's crazy to believe. Again, do you agree or disagree? And refer back to the question today. Excuse me. Where do I rank Mike Vrabel amongst head coaches in the league? To me, there's a top tier class of coaches. This is off the top of my head in no order. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McDermott, Mike Tomlin. Those are 8 guys I feel should be top 8 coaches. And then 9 and 10 gets really debatable. Pete Carroll, Kevin Stefanski, Brian Flores, Mike Vrabel, Frank Wright. I'm sure there's still someone I'm leaving off my list. Bruce Arians, Mike Vrabel. It's really tough. I would say Vrabel's definitely a top 15 coach. It's hard for me to give him that top 10 spot. I do think it'll be taken by someone. Again, I'm sure there's people I'm leaving off the top of my head, and therefore that's why I'm getting him top 5, top 15, because I'm assuming I'm forgetting someone. But I do think he definitely has the upside to be top 10. I don't think it's an impossible mission. You guys tell me though, do you agree or disagree? As always, in the course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.